This year, women's basketball is at an all-time high. It hit historic numbers where it was even bigger than the men's viewership. This year I was able to go to the 2024 Women's Final Four in Cleveland, and I want to share with you my 4 biggest takeaways from my trip to Cleveland. My name is Coach William Lowe, and I'm the co-founder of Strive Basketball and Performance and the Strive Goal Team. If these videos are leaving you with value, make sure you hit the like button, and to get weekly updates, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. Let's get after it. The first takeaway that I had from watching the Final Fours was a reminder on how important controlling the glass is, or controlling the rebound. American statistician Dean Oliver estimates that rebounds is about 20 to 25% of a team's overall performance. And the story I want to tell you is about Caitlin Clark in Iowa. So the first game against UConn was able to hold Caitlin Clark to 2 points the entire half. However, Clark was able to re-emerge from the second half, and largely thanks to her team, they were able to pull off that win. The next game against SC South Carolina, Clark was firing on all cylinders and had over 12 points in 1 quarter. But there was one major difference between SC and UConn, and that is that SC was able to control the boards on both ends. For every missed shot on an offensive possession, they were able to get an offensive rebound, which gave them second chance opportunities. So even though they were shooting at a significantly lower clip than Iowa was, they were able to get those second chance opportunities and capitalize, which kept them in the game. So the message I have to young hoopers out there is everybody wants to be Juju Watkins and look really cool. But we can't forget about the basics of things that win basketball games, and rebounds are at the top of the list. Studying great rebounders, studying how to crash the boards offensively and box out defensively is imperative. Rebounding sets the tone for the game. It tells the other team that you're not going to allow them in your house. It sets the tone for the other team that you're going to be aggressive, and rebounding is something that you can keep up for 4 quarters. Caitlin Clark had over 12 points in the first quarter, but wasn't able to sustain that for all 4 quarters because nobody can shoot 70 to 80%, especially in a championship game. So it's important for us to remember how important rebounding is. I also want to give a message out there to trainers. Now that you know how important rebounding is, we need to be incorporating rebounding into every drill that we do as trainers. And if we can't do it in every single drill, we need to make sure that there's a component of each and every workout that works on rebounding. Because if it's that important that rebounds wins games or even wins championships, then it's worth doing every single day. My next takeaway for everybody is that shot quality is and always will be king. You get outliers like Caitlin Clark, who can shoot 30-foot jumpers with a hand in her face, step back behind the back, just like Steph Curry. However, when it's a season-long thing and you need to do that game in, game out, especially against the best teams in the world, that's when you're gonna need some help. That's when you can't fully depend on one person to do everything, and you must share the ball in order for everybody to be threats. Because when you can get your teammates involved and they can get into a rhythm, that leaves you that much more open. Dean Oliver says that shooting percentage accounts for 40% of games won in the NBA. So if we know that it's almost half of what is determining games won and games lost, then we really need to do a better job as players and coaches to study the game. If you're a coach, we need to relay your philosophy on what your philosophy is on what a good shot, what a bad shot, and what a great shot is. If you're a player, you need to be examining your skill development sessions and your pickup games into saying, am I just going to be working on isolation moves the whole day? Or am I going to involve my teammates in order for our team to create a great shot each and every possession? This just reminded me that although I had the privilege of watching the greatest college player of all time, fundamentals will always be fundamentals. During the game, I had the pleasure of sitting with a group of Power 5 coaches from a major school. We got to talking, and I asked them what is one of the major factors that they think about when recruiting a player. And without hesitating, the assistant coach said to me, being able to play off the ball and basketball intelligence, which really reminded me of how important this is. It's important that as players, we watch film. It's important as coaches that we continue studying the game so we can pass this on to our players. And I want to give a big shout out to Paige Beckers, because watching her in this game really allowed me to understand how good she is. Paige is known as a player, to be able to handle the ball, handle pressure, hit big shots, all that kind of good stuff that makes Instagram. But what I really admired about her is how she moved off the ball. When her teammate penetrates, she knows whether she should go away from the ball, whether she should go towards the ball. Her backdoor game was one of the best I've ever seen. She was able to change pace, be deceptive. Everything that we teach, she was able to do to a T and better. She was able to find her open teammates. She was able to involve everyone, which made her a major threat. And there's no doubt in my mind that next year, Paige Bueckers would be one of the most sought after players in the WNBA draft. So now knowing this piece of information and what major college coaches are looking for, I would really encourage all of you to start watching more film, asking yourself, how can I be a more intelligent basketball player or coach? And what is it that I need to do to separate me from the other players in terms of intellect, but in terms of especially moving without the ball? The last takeaway that I had from this Final Four experience was your ability to be a good networker. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. The coaching convention that I was so lucky to be a part of had a huge amount of college coaches. Out of 5,000 coaches in Division 1, 2, 3 in NAIA, 2,700 were at these conferences. And I was able to meet some of the smartest coaches I've ever met in my life. Now, when it comes to networking, a lot of people may shy away from it, thinking that, oh, that's a dirty word, or people might think I have an alternative motive. But networking is only just building relationships. And in my opinion, it comes down to two main things in order to be a good networker. Number one, it's your ability to deliver value. Being able to ask the other person how you can help them further their career, their life, their knowledge, before you ever think about asking anything in return. Number two, it's about asking good questions about them, getting to know them personally. What do they do outside of the court? What are their family like? Where are they from? All these questions show genuine interest in the other person. If you're being fake and you want something out of this person, people can feel that. So you have to be genuinely interested in helping people and adding value before you ever ask anything in return. Now, it is important for everyone to be a good networker, and there's nothing wrong with that. Whether you're a coach, whether you're a business person, whether you're a basketball player, it's important for us to be able to be at the right place, at the right time, in front of the right person. But I encourage you, add value first. So those are my four main takeaways from the Final Four. It was a life-changing experience, and it was a historical moment where we saw for the first time women's basketball have more viewership than men's basketball. But going back to the takeaways, I wanted to make sure that you got some things from on the court, but I also wanted to make sure that you guys understood how off the court can affect everything that we do on the court. So it's been my pleasure presenting this to you. If you ever get a chance to go to the Final Four, it's one of the best atmospheres that you'll ever go to. And if you go, make sure you also support women's sports as well. Guys, I want to thank you for staying till the end. I hope this video brought you a lot of value. And if it did, make sure you leave us a like. And make sure you subscribe to this channel to get weekly updates to add value to you every week. Don't forget to go to our online community at school.com to get the maximum value out of us, where it's an awesome community of coaches and players who want to leave no stone unturned to help each other reach their goal. We'll see you next week.